2 teams have punched their ticket to the final here in Fort Worth. There's 4 teams left. Only 2 will go on. It's April Anarchy in women's gymnastics. That means it's the NCAA championships.
She did it! Wow!
They replay in your memory, reappear before your mind's eye.
The emotions are there. I didn't want to cry today, but it just happened.
The small steps on the long road.
Top-notch excellence.
Spectacular.
Joyful moments that we've had, we're hungry for more.
Hold on tight. You'll be alright.
Beautifully done. She's got ice in her veins.
Moments filled with meaning led to a moment of truth. This one.
It is a perfect 10. Put their name on that line. LSU back to defend its title.
So remember all you've achieved. For now is the time to climb that final step.
Just grateful for all those little moments that all build to the final moment.
Gymnasts, you may begin your touch show warm-up now.
Welcome to Fort Worth for the 2025 NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championship. Powerful message brought to life by Florence Pugh, star of Marvel Studios' new movie, Thunderbolts, only in theaters May 2nd. Welcome to Dickies Arena, everybody, for the second of 2 semifinals here at the Women's NCAA Gymnastics Championship. 2 teams have punched their ticket to Saturday's final, the Oklahoma Sooners and the Missouri Tigers. 2 more from that bottom quad meet, LSU, Utah, UCLA, and Michigan State will get their chance to make it to the final.
Take it away, my man.
Hello, everyone. I am John Roethlisberger, joined by a couple of Olympic medalists, Allie Raisman, Sam Pesek. Allie, let's start with you. Set this session up for us.
Well, first of all, the atmosphere is electric right now, but the top 2 teams are going to advance, and I expect this session to be very close. It's going to come down to a small step on the landing, a small hop, a dip in the shoulder on beam. You could argue that advancing is going to be just as hard as winning the national championship.
Well, that first session came down to 1/10 to make it to the final. Sam, the #1 team in the country, the defending champs. They won their first title last year. Now for the LSU Tigers, everybody's asking, can they do it again?
Well, everybody's been asking that all year, and head coach Jay Clark said it was much easier to be the greatest team that had never won a championship versus trying to repeat. But he's echoed the same message all season long, and that's focus on the 5 minutes in front of your face. What that means is one event at a time and not thinking about repeating, just trying to qualify to the last day of competition.
Well, this is all about the team, but there's some serious star power, you guys, in this competition as well.
Yeah, let's start with Jade Carey. She's undefeated in the all-around, Olympic champion, 2-time Olympian.
Jordan Childs, Olympic champion, 2-time Olympian, and she is just so dynamic and fun to watch in competition.
A team a lot of people have their eyes on at this semifinals, Michigan State. And for more on them, we're going to go to the 4th member of our team, Taylor Davis.
Yeah, John, it's hard not to think of this Michigan State team as a team of destiny, advancing to the program's first championship for the first time since 1988. After a disappointing regional result last year, head coach Mike Rowe told me this group came in determined to make it to this point. They've done it through energy and confidence. Gabby Stephen told me it'll be the key in a semifinal as stacked as this one.
Michigan State certainly with some unfinished date. They are going to start here on the vault. You see our score tower on the right shows each team's lineup for this first rotation and each rotation thereafter. Here is Michaela Tucker.
She is known to stick this vault under-rotated.
And Michigan State stuck 3 out of 6 vaults at the regional final. So impressive.
Here's Lexi Zeiss leading off for the defending champs, the LSU Tigers. Defense run starts now.
Head coach Jay Clark told me that their warm-up on this event right here was the best he's ever seen it. It was so good it made him nervous. He wants them to save that for the competition.
And an athlete like Lexi is just so dependable. She's been rock solid, even though she's a freshman, with getting those landings. Wow, they're looking loose already, guys.
Utah in their 43rd consecutive. They've been in every NCAA championship that's ever existed. What a streak to carry with you. Emily Morgan will be the gymnast to lead things off on the balance beam.
What's really impressed me in talking to this Utah program is their approach with the meet. They're not afraid to say that they want to win a national championship title.
Caitlin Rosen for UCLA gets them started on an event they are known for. Tremendous floor team are the UCLA Bruins. Currently tied for #1 in the country on that event with the Oklahoma Sooners.
Really strong triple series on the left-hand side of your screen from Amelie Morgan. Quick adjustment on the connection.
It will be interesting to see if the judges give Amelie Morgan that connection. She dipped her shoulder. Judges don't want to see any hesitation. Could risk not getting that 10-0 start value if they're going to be picky today.
Amelie's the regional beam co-champion. She's so strong, but really across the board, all of these teams have struggled with landings. And these are individuals that we've seen stick throughout the season. So that tells me there's a little bit of nerves here.
Yeah, they were tight. That first semifinal, we all agreed, they started tight, and for some of them kind of carried that tension with them throughout, and understandably so. Got to be in the top 2, can't afford mistakes if you want to give yourself a shot of winning the national title on Saturday.
Kate's been in and out of lineups. She's been very loud about her struggles and her journey this year, trying to rebuild her confidence, but she's coming back at the right time, and coaches say she's become an incredible leader because everyone's seen the work she's put in behind closed doors.
Amy Doyle, the second Spartan here on the vault. 9.825, good first score up on vault. This has been a tough event to score on.
Wow. I was going to say, I love the block that she gets off the table. She keeps her elbows so straight. So impressive. Really curious what the judges will do with that. I didn't see a deduction. If they want it, we've seen them be picky today. Maybe they could take a distance deduction.
Or how about the squat on the landing? Do you think, was it too deep, Allie?
I think that was perfect in terms of the depth of the landing.
Looked pretty good. Lexi Zeiss, did she just lead off that bar rotation with a 9-9?
Oh.
Yes, she did. Here's Ashley Cowan.
And Ashley, that first release move and then right away connected down to the low bar. So massive. That's still on the low bar, the shoot over is the only skill that you're going to see. It can be horizontal because it was connected immediately.
A couple hits for the Tigers. McKenna Smith now in the second spot. Emily Morgan, a 9.75 in the first semifinal. If you were watching those scores in the 9.7s, those are the ones that keep you out of the NCAA finals. You can't count those. Florida ended up counting a couple of those on vault, and that hurt them down the stretch. So keep an eye on that. You want to count scores in the mid 9.8s to 9.9. Scoring's a little tougher here. We got those 6 judges. Scoring's tougher, but you know, mid 9.8s, 9.9s are going to help you out a lot. Macy McGowan, the second gymnast for UCLA on floor. 9.8, 6.25 for Rosen in the leadoff spot.
Well, John, it's only the first event. The 9.7s aren't a big deal now, but it puts so much pressure on the last event typically that you don't want to do that to yourself. You want to create the easiest path to the final.
And Macy McGowan on floor. UCLA calls them natty landings, short for national championship landings, just like that. They show good control, don't move the front foot, exactly like Macy did.
McKenna, good stick off the end. They're hoping that becomes a contagious landing for them on beam. Macy actually wasn't originally slated to be in this lineup. She had a back flare-up and hasn't had the training that she's been wanting, but really showed up in the practices.
Nicely done from McGowan. Amy Doyle, a 9.9125 for that vault. That's the highest score in this entire championship so far, as we see Olivia Zarmani in the 3 spot.
Hop forward like we've seen, but this Michigan State team is dangerous on vault. They are known to stick a plethora of landings on this rotation. It's just a matter of who's going to get the job done today.
And if you can string some sticks together on vault based on what we saw in that semifinal, you have put yourself in an incredible spot. They got 3 yet to go on vault. We'll see what they do. Maybe the best freshman in the country. I don't think you can even debate it this year. Kaylin Chio for LSU on bars.
And Kaylin got a 9.95 at SEC Championships on this event right here. This release move coming up is so unique. Only one in the entire competition doing it. Catches the bar with elbows completely straight. Oh, think they're gonna take 1/10 off. Had 2 slight movements of the feet. Think half a tenth each.
Yeah, the coaches say that whenever she makes mistakes, it's because she's trying to be too perfect.
Back over to the balance beam. Here's Grace McCallum. Taylor?
At the beginning of this rotation, Sam, you mentioned that Utah's approach to their goal of winning a national title was a little different this year. Head coach Carly Doggendorf told us we're not making it a taboo topic in the locker room anymore. And I asked Grace McCallum how she felt about that. She said, I've always resonated with that. She said, growing up, I always spoke it into existence that I wanted to compete in the Olympics. Some people maybe thought it was a big goal, but to me, it made it more attainable, something the Utes are definitely tapping into.
Seeing a few wobbles from Grace McCallum. I love the aggressive approach, and I want to see a little bit more of an aggressive approach on her beam routine here. That's when I noticed that she does her best.
Emma Malabuyo for UCLA follows a 9.85 from Macy McGowan.
And Grace McCallum usually does the triple wolf turn on beam into a double wolf turn, but coaches said sometimes when you're on podium, the beam can be very slippery, so she made that adjustment quickly.
Well, she got the job done. She made the beam routine. It's not going to be her highest beam score, but to get through beam with all hits, I think is important at this stage in the competition. UCLA's coach, Janelle McDonald, said that, you know, this is a really competitive meet, so the message to the team is to be aggressive and attack the routines.
Nikki Smith on vault, Michigan State.
Oh, man, she has stuck so many. She actually has stuck 5 of 12 vaults this season. So really going for that landing, and that's where we saw the mistakes show up.
I love that floor routine. That's one of my favorites for Emma Malabuyo.
Having fun.
This hips open on the double pike. In the slow-mo, we can see some flex feet. Judges don't get the slow-mo, so they might not have seen that. Well done.
I love that. Right when she landed, looked over to her team, all on the side there, playing to them. Having a good time. Zarmani a 9.8625 for Michigan State on that last vault. Grace McCallum a 9.8125. Now here's Avery Neff. We talked about great freshmen. Kaylin Chio certainly set a standard there, but Avery Neff, she is right up there. Hadn't gotten injured, she'd be in that same conversation. Aaliyah Finnegan, right hand of your screen for LSU.
Aaliyah taking it one skill at a time. Sometimes on the podium, the bars are bouncier, so you have to be patient and adjust your timing for each skill. Going to do a full-in dismount.
Avery on the left-hand side of your screen. She said that sometimes she does get nervous, but honestly, when she competes, it doesn't look like she's nervous at all. She just goes into attack mode. She said specifically before beam, she wants someone to ask her a would you rather question. And I asked her what some of the examples, and she was like, you know, would you rather eat a hot dog or a hamburger? And that's to help her not overthink. So whatever the would you rather question was for this beam routine, it worked because that was phenomenal.
Every event, I mean, she is she's got it all. Mentally, she seems like she's a steel trap.
Yeah.
And athletically, she has got the gymnastics to hang with absolutely anybody. Veteran for the UCLA Bruins. Really a fan favorite, I think, across the country as well. Here's Shea Campbell.
And that first tumbling pass, so controlled on that landing, layout position, and then tucks her legs. It's so much better than most.
Gabby Stevens, left hand of your screen, following a 9.725 from Nikki Smith. They really want to hit a couple big ones here at the end.
She scored a perfect 10 on this vault earlier this year. Overshoots it with the step forward. Again, clean positioning that we're seeing from a lot of these vaults here today. Just can't find the landings.
And that's the tough part about vault. That vault was basically perfect from board to mat. But that step, probably, we've seen that be a 210 step throughout this competition, which means that's a 9.8. That's tough, unforgiving event.
But they have broken a 9.9 on that event, which we did not see much of earlier in today's competition.
Yep.
Now, true gymnastics fans might notice that this is Shea Campbell's sophomore year floor routine. And she wanted to do this because this is the year that they didn't make NCAAs, so she didn't get to compete this routine at an NCAAs. And Allie, you know how tough this is. This will be her 4th different routine in 5 weeks.
Amazing. Love it. And she loves it too. Cami Winger for Utah follows Avery Neff's 9.9125. Oh!
Sam,
first big break.
The same thing happened at regionals as well. She's supposed to do back handspring layout, and she added in a back handspring like she did, but she stayed on the beam at regionals. And I actually thought she meant to do that, but was very off. And unfortunately today was even more off than at regionals, and 0.5 of a point for that fall. And may not actually get a 10-0 start. At regionals, she had a 9.8 start, so she's gonna have to add in another skill.
Connor McLean, right hand of your screen, one of the best, not just in collegiate gymnastics, but in the world on this event. Execution sets the standard.
Looks like Connor caught that release move a little bit too close. What's really interesting to me and surprising is Connor's ranked 15th in the country on this event. And I say that because I think with handstands like that, she's one of the best bar workers in the world. That just shows the level of talent and depth here at this NCAA collegiate gymnastics level.
Yeah, that always surprises me too, because I really think the way she executes bars is as good as anybody.
Yeah, Allie, you mentioned it. I saw the same thing. It looked like she clipped her feet, which would have been a bigger deduction. It's still going to be a significant deduction because of how close she caught. But guys, you know this better than anyone, that the strength she had to have to push her face away from the bar and keep the rhythm going is impressive.
I mean, it's amazing the strength you can garner when you have to push your face away from the bar coming in. That was impressive. Way to minimize the deductions as we see Sage Kellerman. I know you love this vault, Sam. Allie, you as well.
Look at how high she gets. And every time, it doesn't matter if it's on podium, if there's pressure, if there's no pressure, she sticks it like that. She's money.
I've been so impressed with Michigan State. They've come in here so calm, so confident, and they look so good in practice.
Yeah, Amy Doyle at 9.9125. You got to think Kellerman's score is going to go up from there. Doesn't feel like anybody wants to throw the perfect 10, but that's going to be about as close as you're going to get on that event. Brooklyn Moore's here, outstanding floor exercise worker.
Does that combination better than anyone. I think her and Jordan Bowers are the two best at that really difficult combination.
Brooklyn tied for 3rd in the country at the end of the regular season on floor exercise. Got a perfect 10 here in 2025.
The emotion, the passion in this routine, it is just such a work of art, so beautiful.
Left hand of your screen, junior Anna Paderariu for Utah. She has been second in the world on balance beam in 2018, and now here she is in a huge spot for Utah, following Cammie Winger's 8.975.
Wolf turn, this is the skill that teammate Grace McCallum had a little bit of a wobble on. I think it's one of the most difficult skills to start off a routine, especially when you have some nerves. Transferred from UCLA.
Haley Bryant, defending all-around champion at these NCAA championships, finishes things off for LSU on bars.
Haley doing a good job of keeping her body tight, trying to hold those handstand positions. Judges want to see you stretch all the way from your shoulders, all the way up to your fingertips.
I hope your eyes can watch two things at once, because Haley Bryant on bars and then Anna Paderariu absolutely crushing this beam routine with so much pressure. The hop on the dismount was really the biggest deduction that I saw, but I think they're in the clear so far after this first event.
Yeah, great beam rotation. And Anna, for longtime gymnastics fans, that sheep jump reminds me of the 2003 era of gymnastics, and I love it. Big risk, completely losing sight of the beam.
I did a sheep jump alley, and I'm a little younger than that, okay? 2008 era over here.
Well, we have a new leader on the floor exercise. It's Brooklyn Moore's 9.9625. Keep in mind, the top score from both of these semifinal sessions on each event in the all-around is your NCAA champion. And look who is up, none other than Olympic champion Jordan Childs. And man, she can perform this event. Kaya Forbes for UNC, left hand of your screen, competing as an individual.
Very clean, Yurchenko full.
Jordan Childs has scored 6 perfect tens on this event.
Team member Jocelyn Robertson for Arkansas, left hand of your screen, competing the all-around. How about that, though, that floor routine?
Jordan Childs is a blast to watch. I love the choreography. The tumbling is high, effortless.
Jocelyn's been one of the top-tier freshmen in the country that I've been so excited to watch. And this event here, I think, is her specialty. She really works beam like she's on the floor. She looks so comfortable up there. Has great awareness. She's able to adjust quickly, and there's no seemingly nervous attitude about the way that she works beam.
Jade Carey, right hand of your screen, competing for Oregon State as an individual. Reminder, the teams have qualified, but there's also some individuals who qualified from regionals if they had top scores in the individual events and the all-around. So they are competing alongside some of the teams. So that's why you see Jocelyn Robertson, left hand of your screen, Jade Carey, right hand of your screen.
Two stuck landings from two incredible Olympic team members. Man.
Jade has improved this event so much, gets so much height, has so much time to see that low bar. I've been really impressed, particularly with her handstand positions. And right here, body is so tight. Just that leg separation we see, but we have a different angle from the judges, and the judges aren't seeing it in slow-mo like we are.
Jade Carey, undefeated in the all-around this season. Has not lost, putting that on the line tonight, trying to win her first ever NCAA all-around championship. As we now move over to floor exercise, this is Maya Lazan from Cal. Cal was the 6th ranked team coming out of the regular season. Most people thought they would be here at these NCAA championships as a team. Finished 2nd last year. Unfortunately, that regional competition, such a tough gauntlet to go down. Any team at any moment can be on the outside looking in. Unfortunately, that was the case for Cal.
Yeah, that was Alabama that upset them, John.
Sam, same pass that we saw from Brooklyn Morris and same one that Jordan Bowers does.
And you know what? That was great too. These athletes are just really doing picture-perfect gymnastics tonight. Her form when she twists and throughout this entire floor routine is so beautiful. I told her yesterday how stunning of a gymnast she is to watch.
And watch the difference in the height between the flip right here and the double twist. I'd love to see that front tuck higher than the front double twist. And what I love about it is you can see the UCLA gymnasts cheering for Maya Lazan. These athletes are here without their team, and so to have the support is really special.
We're going to see some of those individual scores coming in. But in the meantime, what a rotation for the UCLA Bruins. And I do believe Taylor Davis has got the head coach, Janelle McDonald. Taylor?
I sure do. Thank you, John. Coach, we're accustomed to a floor party from the Bruins. In an environment like this with such a stacked semifinal, how important was that start?
That was a really important start for us. You know, we wanted to come out there, put on a show, and really focus on landings and clean execution. I feel like they did that beautifully, so we checked the box. We got to get 3 more solid events.
How can that translate over to vault?
Yeah, you know, we just need to be really aggressive what we do, but really present. And I thought they did exactly that on floor, and so we just got to translate that over to vault to get those landings nice and clean.
On to the next. Thanks for the time.
You bet. Go Bruins.
So UCLA doing what they do. Their best event, they're #1 in the country, tied for the #1 spot on that event. So you kind of expect them to come out strong, and they did. Our individuals for that last rotation, we finished off with Jake Carey, Jocelyn Robertson. They put up a couple 9.9s. Maya Lazan as well, finishing up on floor exercise. So some big scores from those individuals. Well, the top individual in the country last year was Haley Bryant from LSU. She helped them win the team title as well. And I tell you what, nobody has had a reputation like Haley Bryant.
Haley Bryant has changed the school completely.
She is the model of what we want our culture to look like.
We are just so lucky to just watch her and how she does her life. But obviously we know we're coming into this competition being ranked the #1 team in the country, and that's not something that we're gonna run from.
Haley Bryant, now that she's back on all 4 events for LSU, that's gonna be a great, great thing for this Tiger team.
It's been a little bit more freeing, and I think obviously coming off of such a successful year last year, I think that's something that's made me who I am this year. I'm just more focused on enjoying the moment, and I'm just more free when I'm competing. We're gonna go out there and do our normal gymnastics. We just wanna look up and know we left everything out on that floor and are ending with no regrets.
LSU has had themselves a year. Last year winning their first ever title. This year getting the first ever #1 seed coming into the postseason in program history. And certainly they have set the standard recently. But that first rotation, you guys, LSU sitting in that third spot, and it's because Michigan State and UCLA. Michigan State on vault, Sam, looked outstanding.
They looked incredible. They had 2 stuck landings. Amy Doyle started off that stick, and it was incredible. Head coach Mike Rose said she's such a perfectionist. She wants to stick it 100% of the time, and he's laughing because he goes, "You're not going to be able to do that. Let's be real." But she stuck it when it counted most. And Sage Kellerman actually sticks this 100% of the time, almost. But look how high she got off the table. Straight arms allowed her to have a really big block for an easy stuck landing.
And Brooklyn Moore's on floor. This athlete right here, this routine is memorable. Starting off with this high punch front, opens up out of that tuck position at just the right time, ends with a gorgeous front handspring, front 1.5, stunning routine.
UCLA after that floor rotation in the top spot. But Mike Rowe, 8th season at Michigan State, you guys, and he is really, he's had a turnaround. We talked about Shannon Welker from Missouri and the turnaround he had. Mike Rowe's done that at Michigan State.
Yeah, well, he was named Big Ten Coach of the Year last year, 3 consecutive years. And the last time they competed at NCAA championships was 1988. So they're really trying to capitalize on the talent they have on this team.
I spoke to Gabrielle Stephen yesterday. I said, "What do you want people to know about you?" She said, "Don't count us out."
Well, I think we're done counting out Michigan State if people ever have. They cannot finish lower than 8th, by the way. They've made the last 8 teams, and that would be the highest finish they've ever had in history. Second rotation coming up. UCLA in the top spot. Michigan State right behind them. Welcome back to Dickies Arena. After one rotation, the UCLA Bruins in the top spot, Michigan State second, LSU, the defending champion, third, Utah in fourth. Remember, the top 2 teams, that's all that matters here. They advance. UCLA led by that 9-9+ from Moores. And here is your stream team. Some of the best in the business. Kennedy Baker, Anastasia Webb, they're covering Michigan State and Utah. Bridget Sloan, Trinity Thomas, they are covering LSU and UCLA. You can listen to them all and watch them on ESPN+. Put them on, put us on at the same time, and it's nirvana is what it is. So UCLA goes to vault now, guys. They come off that big floor rotation, but now they are on vault. This is where scores have gone down, and this not a great event for UCLA. Can they hold that lead?
Lee starting things off with a Yurchenko full, and she really sticks that most of the time. Able to get the job done again tonight.
And that Yurchenko falls out of a 9.95. Will be interesting to see what type of score that gets. Should be close to a 9.95.
Amy Doyle, we saw that big vault here. She is on bars.
And Amy Doyle starting off with a pike Jaeger. Most gymnasts straddle their feet. And the pike Jaeger is riskier and harder because you risk hitting your feet on the bar. You've got to rotate so much faster.
Wow. Perfectly placed. Your giant full on top of the bar, and they stuck their first dismount.
In the regional final, Michigan State stuck 4 out of 6 of their bar dismounts, which could really make the difference today.
Sierra Ballard leads things off for LSU here on balance beam, but tremendous lead off on beam. Spent most of her career in this spot, and that is because she is so reliable in this important lineup position, getting things started on the toughest event.
I think most coaches would agree that the #1 ingredient on beam is to be aggressive. And I don't know if there's a beam worker out there that is more aggressive than Sierra Ballard.
Ashley Glenn leading things off for Utah on floor. They currently sit in the 4th spot.
Last year at the national championship final, Sierra Ballard opened up on this event and got a 9.95 in the leadoff spot. It was the 2nd highest score on beam of the day.
She's a veteran and has brought so much to this team. Coaches call her the fire starter, so what better way than to be a leadoff on one of the hardest events, especially mentally. If she can get this stick, that will be huge, putting LSU in the right spot on balance beam.
I love the fierceness when Sierra sticks that. That's also a newer dismount for her this season, but love the look on her face, how pumped up she is. especially on that last tumbling pass. She was probably 15 degrees too far over. Won't be a big deduction, but those half attempts here and there are really gonna make a big difference.
Look at her feet when she comes over the top. Her right front foot, her heel is completely off. So she essentially landed that with 1 foot. Unfortunately, doesn't get bonus points for that, but man, that's impressive.
And made it look smooth as well. Riley Jenkins, a freshman now, follows Emily Lee's a 9.85. That's a good score on a 9.95 start from what we've seen in this competition.
Yurchenko 1.5. Newer to this lineup. I like how stretched her hips are in the air, but again, these athletes are really trying to hone in on these landings.
Michaela Tucker in the 2 spot here. Doyle a 9.8625. She's having herself a meet here early.
Michaela Tucker keeping her body so stretched. A little bit short on that handstand position. Judges allow for a 10-degree window. Half a 10th hop on that landing.
I call that landing happy feet, where you want to stick so bad, but the feet just, they're so excited they have to move, and unfortunately that's going to be a deduction, so the judges don't think it's happy.
Happy feet make you sad, Sam.
Happy feet.
Watch her shoulder position. Body comes above horizontal, then right into that handstand in the low bar.
She's so tall too that her long lines are so beautiful, but her handstands are a little bit more pronounced, so she has to get her hips flat because she can't really hide it very well.
Ella Zerbis, the second gymnast here. Ashley Lynn, a good start, 9.8375. Keep in mind, Utah 0.175 behind Michigan State for the second spot. There you go, Sierra Ballard. Another 9.9 in the leadoff spot for LSU. Kylie Cohen follows her left hand of your screen.
That is clutch, getting LSU started. I think this is good practice for a team that wants to win the national championship, because if you qualify to the final, you have got to start with a 9.875 or better, in my opinion, if you want a chance to win the title.
Well, the math got readjusted, so Sierra Ballard did not quite get that 9.9, 9.875. There's a judge or two in there that gave her a 9.9, however.
Kylie's just a sophomore. She's new to the beam lineup this year, and the coaches just speak volumes of her improvement from last year to this year. The intentionality in her training, and it's really showed up in critical moments to have the confidence on balance beam. Let's see if they can go 2 for 2.
Oh.
Thought she was gonna hang on to it a little longer.
And out on floor, that was a superb floor routine. Stuck her first pass, didn't even have to lunge out of it, and the last tumbling pass was very well controlled. They're gonna be thrilled with that.
Tomorrow night on ESPN, the NBA play-in tournament rolls on with the Western Conference 8th place game between the Mavs and the Grizzlies. Coverage of this one begins at 9:30 Eastern time. The winner gets to play the Thunder in the first round. Brooklyn Moore's lights out in that first rotation on the floor exercise, trying to build on the 9.8 from Jenkins right before her.
She's had a very consistent presence on this event. You could see with her upper body, the hollow shape she made. She was working so hard, but couldn't get her chest up quick enough to hold on to the landing.
Gabby Stevens now the third gymnast to go. 9.8, 125 for Tucker right before her.
If you notice in the beginning of her routine, Gabrielle Steven always looks up at the bar, and I asked her about it while she's waiting there to go, and she said she's actually afraid of bars. I said, well, I was too. You would never be able to know watching this routine. She usually sticks this. Excellent.
It's funny you say that, because their head coaches, Mike Rowe right there, said she came in hating beam, but he was under the impression she actually kind of liked it now.
I can understand hating beam. That's a tough one. Kaylin Chio, she seems to love beam, because every time she goes, she absolutely lights out, is the freshman. She is third up for LSU.
John, she does love beam. She also loves competing in NCAA. She told me the competitions in Elite really helped her to learn how to compete in autopilot. She said, if I overanalyze, that's when things go sideways. I've watched her down here by the corral. She never watches the athlete directly in front of her. She steps to the side, collects herself, a lot of mental sets. You can see that autopilot really kicking in.
I mean, what a dream, Taylor, to have an athlete, a freshman, to coach that already knows what it takes to compete at their best.
And Sam, also what an incredible freshman to have on floor, Avery Neff. These two freshmen on your screen right here are phenomenal, and they've had an incredible year.
Yeah, both junior national champions. And as a level 10, their senior year, a lot of people looked at them as maybe the two best seniors coming out of high school, and here they are, both on your screen at the same time, two of the best freshmen you will see in all of college gymnastics.
Kaylin finishing 1.5. Man, that was smooth. She made SEC history when she set the record for the most SEC Freshman of the Week honors in a single season, taking 9 out of the 11 awards.
Avery Neff looks very calm, and she's genuinely having such a good time. Yeah, she's on fire tonight.
What's impressive, too, about her is not just the gymnastics, but head coach Carly Dockendorf said she's been an excellent vocal leader, and she's just a freshman.
Mika Webster-Longan now for UCLA, 9-8 for Brooklyn Moore. As you can see, the scores tougher to come by. Big numbers for UCLA on floor, but not as big here. But that is typical for most teams other than Michigan State, that first rotation.
Virchenko won it.
She did the same thing in warm-ups.
Oh, wow.
Hope she's okay.
That was really scary. It's really important to land with bent knees so something like that doesn't happen.
Yeah, hope she's okay.
Wow. Quickly over to Olivia Zarmani for Michigan State.
Wow. Nice handstand. Ho-ho! They are just cruising with those sticks on bars, and they've had a couple on vault.
And look at that, Gabrielle Steven, 9.9375. Romani's score is going to be right up there as well. Kaylin Chio, a 9.875 for her. That's lower than she's used to seeing. She rarely gets below that 9.9 number on any event. Connor McLean, though, she can set a standard here on beam like she can on the uneven bars.
Every single skill she does in this beam routine is textbook. Her leaps are oversplit. If you just took a photo in the middle of her leap, it is picture perfect.
And what's important about beam is keeping a rhythm. Connor McLean told me she counts 1, 2 in between each skills. Was actually a little bit off on that crooked, but it's still gonna get that connection.
Yeah, she's so good at adjusting. And what's special is when she adjusts, her form does not change. So you can't even tell that she's crooked.
Right hand of your screen is Jaylene Gilstrap. And I don't know where Taylor Davis is right now, but I can promise you she's got a smile on her face. Not supposed to play favorites, but I know she loves this one.
Connor's keeping that good rhythm Allie was just talking about. She is so smooth. Her arm positions are perfectly placed. And beam is just looking so easy for LSU. Big hugs from beam coach Ashley Knott, 17-time All-American from LSU.
It does look easy for LSU, but they have not broken a 9.9 yet, Sam. They're still looking for their first 9.9 plus score.
Yeah.
And remember, they were in third place after that first rotation, so they've got some work to do to get into the top 2.
Exquisite routine for Jaylene on floor.
Her routine is just such a breath of fresh air. It's so nice. You can't watch it without smiling.
Little Billy Joel, Piano Man, Sam.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You're a little too young for the Piano Man, I think. I think I have it on DVD, on CD. Do you have a CD still? Or is that?
I have it on VHS.
Cassette tape.
Now you're lying. Avery Neff right before Jaylene Gilstrap got a 9.875, matching Kaylin Chio's 9.875. Connor McLean gets the first 9.9 plus for LSU on beam. Delaney Harkness now up for Michigan State. Look at them, though.
Wow.
9.925 for Zarmani.
Great handstand on the top of the bar. Michigan State just looking so calm and confident.
They're in attack mode, double layout.
Loved the body position in the air, but almost looked like she pulled in a little bit too much and then over-rotated it. But the body position was consistent throughout.
That was going to be another 9.9 and just overdid that double layout.
But good distance away from the bar on that Ginger release move. Straight back up to that handstand, and she even held it for an extra second.
Little close to the bar there. Would have loved to have seen her keep her elbow straight and let go just a moment too early.
Ginger release move. You can see just how high she gets above the bar, and it's perfectly placed. You want to catch it with your arms straight out in front of you. She does a really nice job of that.
It'll be interesting to see how they handle that landing. It felt like a 2/10 deduction, which means that would not be higher than a 9.8. McKenna Smith follows Gilstrap's 9.925, so a couple of 9.9s now for Utah here in this rotation. Again, 4th place after the last rotation. Can they make a move? Shay Campbell now on vault. She has got a big Yurchenko full, and she is known for just nailing this landing.
One of the best in NCAA. She has so much hang time, and you could just see her flare out, and her eyes are watching the floor for seconds before her feet hit the ground. That's what UCLA needed to do.
That's a 9.95 start, and the score should be a 9.95. It won't be, but it should be.
I agree with you completely. It reminds me of the 92 Olympic gymnastics era, the way that she flared out, had so much time to spot that landing. I give it a 9.95.
Little pressure on Haley Bryant now. Only 1.99 score for LSU. 2 gymnasts to go. You've got Michigan State putting up 9.9s. You've got Utah putting up 9.9s on floor. LSU needs to answer.
And if you want someone to be able to answer that call, Haley Bryant's your girl. Honda Award winner, AAI Award winner. I mean, there's no award she hasn't won yet. This is her victory lap.
McKenna Smith on floor. That last tumbling pass is so unique. That front 1.5 into that back layout step out. Stunning.
You know, Haley had that injury, that elbow injury early in the season, which she didn't get back into the all-around for a while. And the one thing that she looks great, but the one thing I haven't seen as good as in the past is stuck landings. And I just wonder, is that the numbers game, or is it just by chance and she'll bring them here? But that is the thing I'd like to see from Haley Bryant today.
Little slide with the feet together, and adjustment on that front toss. So it's not, to your point, John, the best we've ever seen. But if there's a day where you want your best to show up, it's on an NCAA final.
Got to get there, though, Sam. Got to get there. Sage Kellerman, 9.95 on vault. Here she is anchoring this bar rotation. That's been outstanding as well.
Sage Kellerman is tied 12th in the country on this event right here. Saw her earlier stick her vault. Hoping to do the same on this dismount right here.
Wow. That patience. She didn't rush her chest on the landing. She just let it soak into the mat.
Michigan State is not playing. And Jordan Chiles, she doesn't play either.
Played around with a couple different vaults, but I think this is the safer choice for her. She lands it pretty consistently, just like that almost every time.
Shay Campbell got a 9.9. Should have been a 9.95. I've made that clear. Jordan Chiles finished off that rotation for them. Still waiting for that Kellerman score. Haley Bryant, a 9.875. Aaliyah Finnegan in the anchor spot. She's familiar with that. Olympic silver medalist. Grace McCallum now follows a pair of 9.9 plus scores. There's already 3 of them for Utah. Utah making a big move, potentially a huge move, depending on what McCallum can do right here.
Last time Grace competed. She scored a 9.975. This is by far the best year of her entire career.
Aaliyah Finnegan, left hand of your screen in the anchor spot, needs a big one here. Again, it's only coming up on the halfway point of the meet, but you don't want to put the pressure on those last few events if you're the defending champ, and that looks like what they're doing.
Back handspring layout, beautiful triple series and strong, quick adjustment at her finish. If you're Aaliyah Finnegan, I would replay that moment of clinching the title last year because there was so much pressure on the line, more than I imagine any other meet. You can handle any moment from there. I think that's why she never looks phased on this event.
Utah finishing strong on floor.
Oh, wow. She looks surprised by that.
You guys look surprised. I'm surprised.
Her face is surprised. It didn't look that crooked going into it.
With beam, it happens so fast. You dip your shoulder or just place your foot down just a millisecond in the wrong spot, you're off the beam.
Or you just have a wrong thought, right? You're thinking about just the dismount left and you're not staying present in the moment. There's a million different things, Allie, to your point, that can go wrong in the slightest split second. Front aerial, her chest just is so delayed, and her right side of the body, her right arm gets stuck and can't pull it all the way up to vertical to keep her on the beam. Shocking.
It's devastating when that happens, because I imagine right when she took off for that front layout, she could feel it was off, and there's really nothing you can do about it.
And so now they're going to count that Kylie Cohen 9.8. So really, if you look at it, that fall from Aaliyah Finnegan probably cost their team maybe a tenth or so. So not catastrophic, but you don't want to give up those tenths. Michigan, Sophia Diaz, she's a sensational gymnast. Love watching her.
Yeah, she's been incredible to watch. Unfortunately, couldn't get her chest up enough to find the landing, but you can see how dynamic that is. It's going to be incredible to watch for years to come.
Michigan State is going to move ahead of UCLA, by the way, after that tremendous bar rotation. Here's Jocelyn Robertson. Sam, you said she's known for beam, but I'd argue maybe she's known for this event. She is sky high, especially on this first pass.
All right, she's an all-arounder. She's great everywhere.
Difficult double layout, and the craziest part is this is a watered-down routine for Jocelyn. Jocelyn told me that she's thinking about training for LA 2028. I'm very excited to hear that.
Yeah, no surprises there considering how well she's been doing this year. She continues to be on the rise.
Step out is so unique. Most gymnasts do front tuck. She does it in a layout position. Makes it much harder.
And Mike drops it. As a freshman, first time at NCAA championships, she's doing a great job.
Here is Jade Carey, competing in the all-around like Jocelyn Robertson. Started off the competition well on the uneven bars, trying to give herself a chance to stay undefeated in the all-around here in 2025.
I think the reason Jade is so solid on this event is she's just even keel in her demeanor, the way that she salutes, and it's not a new thing. This has been her entire career, from being an elite athlete to the Olympics, coming back from the Olympics. She has continued this same demeanor, and that sort of characteristic really bodes well for an amazing beam worker, especially in pressure-filled moments.
And Sam, she's had to wait for 6 athletes to go in front of her. I was watching her stand there while Jocelyn Robertson was on floor, and Aaliyah just fell before her. So as an athlete, being human, it can sometimes have doubt creep in your mind, but this is phenomenal. Jade Carey showing why she's undefeated in the all-around, somehow manages to get better and better even after 2 Olympics.
She's unfazed, she's phenomenal. There's not enough superlatives to describe Jade Carey.
I talked about LSU last year being the greatest team never to win a team championship. I think a lot of people would say Jade Carey, the greatest gymnast, collegiate gymnast never to win an all-around title, trying to change that this year. Well, Taylor Davis is with the leading coach at the halfway point, Mike Rowe. Take it away, Taylor.
You're absolutely right. Thank you, John. Coach, a huge bar rotation to put your team in the lead. What have you seen from your group through 2?
Details today. They came in locked in, but calm, reserved. We were just trying to get through everything in warm-ups and no surprises or whatever. And they came out here just with focus, mental attitude, and like I said, locked in. They've been just, we love those landings. We love those landings.
We love those landings too. In a semifinal as stacked as this field is, what's it going to take to close this thing out?
We just got to keep our heads on, one rotation at a time, one event, one athlete at a time, doing exactly what we're doing. I mean, that's all we can do, and I think that keeps them more in their zone without distraction.
It's been fun to watch so far. Best luck the rest of the way.
Thank you so much.
John.
I love it. I love it, Taylor. Obviously a great coach doing amazing things, but here he is leading the semifinal. It's almost like an out-of-body experience for Mike Rowe, but he is doing a tremendous job halfway through the competition, and as of right now, they are in 2 events to go.
Well, they said the mindset coming in is trying not to draw attention to how big the moment is. And whatever they're doing, John, focusing on the landings, staying present, not thinking about how big it is, it's working.
Jade Carey had that Tokyo 2020 water bottle, I noticed right there. Maybe some good luck. Didn't she win a floor gold right there? I think she did. She won a floor gold. Here are your scores. So Jade Carey, 9.95 for that Beamer team. Jocelyn Robertson, 9.9. A couple of 9.7s there at the top for Maddie Jones and Sophia Diaz. Halfway through, so many great athletes in women's college gymnastics, so many Olympians. Grace McCallum, one of the best.
There's no one else like Grace McCallum. She has had the greatest impact on Utah gymnastics. She is one of the biggest role models on this team.
Someone I really do look up to, and she just puts her full heart into absolutely everything that she does.
We've got Olympic stars everywhere you look. It's a new look women's collegiate gymnastics.
I think it's so cool to be competing against so many former Olympians.
The Olympics is something you always dream of as a little kid. Going to a D1 college is also something to dream of.
Jordan Charles, this is a treat.
It's so awesome that people are able to do both worlds. It's really exciting for the sport.
It's a 10.
She has been something special.
Being on the Olympic stage, it's the biggest stage in the world, so you need to learn how to manage those emotions and those nerves.
What we went through this past summer and then trying to compete at college, it's hard. It takes a toll on your body.
We also get to encourage ourselves to be like, look, if I was able to be an Olympian, I can be an NCAA champion.
Just to show the talent of NCAA, it's up to par with the best of the best in the world.
Well, along with competing on the biggest stages in your sport, the introduction of NIL has welcomed a world of opportunities for athletes in this very building. The list goes on for people like Jordan Childs with Nike and Time. Of course, Olivia Dunn with programs like Forbes. Jade Carey's incredible run at the Olympics opened up a lot of opportunities when she returned back home to Oregon State. And of course, UCLA's Emma Malabuyo and LSU's Aaliyah Finnegan, who were teammates for Team Philippines at the Olympics, came back to do a variety of camps, magazine shoots, and the athletes that I spoke with told me it's allowed us to get everything we possibly can in and out of our sport. John.
Face of women's collegiate gymnastics and brought so much notoriety and attention and more eyeballs to the TV, and it's been a lot of fun to watch it all happen. Well, that last rotation, you guys, we're looking at Utah right there, and they made a big jump, 4th place after rotation 1, now second, Allie.
And Jaylene Gilstrap standing out with that beautiful dance. Grace McCallum, clutch Olympic athlete, so experienced, really showing that off with her composure, her calmness, and controlling those landings.
Well, the next rotation, Michigan State to beam, LSU to floor exercise, Utah to vault, and UCLA to the uneven bars. We are halfway through this semifinal.
This is one of the most exciting competitions I've ever been to.
It's top-notch excellence.
That was amazing.
Big time gymnastics here. The Sprouts Farmers Market Collegiate Quad returns in 2026, back for its third year. 5 of the 8 teams competing in this semifinal will be there. It's January 10th at Maverick Center in West Valley City, Utah. It'll be on ABC and ESPN2. Do not miss it. It is a lot of fun. Here's your meet summary. It has been a back and forth. UCLA was in the lead after that first rotation. Now they are in third, and it's Michigan State that moves up to the top spot. Utah right behind them. Don't forget, the stream team is at work as well. You can find them on ESPN+. They're covering all these routines. Kennedy Baker and Anastasia Webb covering Michigan State and Utah. Bridget Sloan and Trinity Thomas covering LSU and UCLA. And they keep wanting me to say that they have won 17 national titles. And Greg Campbell's in there too. And if you add Greg Campbell's national championships, they've won 17 of them. All right, back to business. Jaylene Gilstrap, outstanding on the floor exercise. She leads things off for Utah here on vault. Now, they're in a good spot. They're in second, but now they go to the low-scoring event, the vault. Can they hang in there in the top 2?
They look really strong on vaults this year. Just a Yurchenko full, so the ceiling there is a 9.95, but nicely executed.
Shea Campbell leading off on bars. They've had a lineup change. Mika Webster-Longen after that vault. Unfortunately, she is out of the lineup.
And Shea Campbell held that handstand on the low bar and did that again right there. Well done. This dismount, double front. At Big Ten Championships, all 6 gymnasts in the lineup scored a 9.9 or better on this event. I know they're hoping for the same thing today.
They had themselves a Big Ten championship. They won the team title. Shea Campbell won the all-around title as well in their first season in the Big Ten. Skylar Schulte now leads things off for the Michigan State team that is in the top spot, but it is so razor thin. Less than 0.2 of a point separating the number 1 team from the number 4 team. Any of these 2 teams still can get in to those finals. Connor McLean leading off on floor exercise. What a comeback for her. Tore her Achilles tendon, trying to make the Olympic team last year. Made an amazing recovery, and more recently got into this floor lineup.
An impressive double layout, John, as you mentioned, coming back from that injury to do a skill that difficult. Such few gymnasts in the world can do that.
Skylar Schulte qualified as an individual her freshman year on beam and last year on floor, and it's really been her goal since she's been at Michigan State to qualify as a team. She's making it happen and getting the job done in that leadoff position.
A big leadoff routine for Michigan State. And this is the big rotation for LSU. Tremendous floor team, number 3 in the country on this event. They are in 4th, 0.125 behind second. If they are going to make a move, they've got to make a move here because they go to vault last. Those scores, tougher to come by. Got to be big if you're the Tigers.
Connor bent legs in between that 1.5 to the punch full. Did a great job keeping her chest up for the landing. Will be a slight deduction for that, but she is a competitor and handled that really well.
We all jumped out of our seats because we know exactly what that moment feels like. She should not have made that, Allie.
Yeah, she missed her punch. Grace McCallum this year doing a Yurchenko 1.5, really felt comfortable because Mike Hunger is on staff. He coached her since she's been 13, and they really worked on her technique to get her to a place to lift off the table and to have such a strong block. Look at how straight her arms are. She waits before she twists and just absolutely annihilates that landing. Wow.
Mike Hunger might have just earned his whole salary for the year in one vault. That was amazing. Macy McGowan now follows Shea Campbell's 9.825.
Macy McGowan flying from one bar to the next. So hard when you have the pressure on you and the adrenaline to think about one skill at a time. Double layout kept her body so tight. That hop back gonna cost her a 10th, but great routine.
So 2 hits in for UCLA here in this third rotation. UCLA 0.0125 behind Utah for second. Essentially, that is may as well be tied. It is that close. We talk about coming down to steps on landings or small wobbles, and that's less than a step or a wobble, 0.0125. Katie Duplessis now on the balance beam. Kyla Schulte, 9.8125 in the leadoff spot.
Really crooked on that triple series, but quick adjustments, and she's trying to dance out of it. Probably only a slight deduction for the bobble at the end.
The cruise director, as they like to call her at LSU, Sierra Ballard, she led off on balance beam. Nice job there. Here she is in the 2 spot following Connor McLean's 9.8625.
Sierra recently switched from 3-pass routine to a 2-pass routine. She added in a switch full leap and feels she's scoring better with that change in the routine.
Quickly to the left-hand side of your screen, Katie really nailed that dismount. Credit to all their difficult beam assignments this season.
Notice Sierra throws her arms out to the side, helps her keep her balance in that front layout, control that landing so well.
Yeah, the aggressiveness that I see from her on beam and that I love so much, she brings that to floor too, and you just can't help but look away.
They need every bit of it. Do the LSU Tigers quickly over to vault. This is Avery Neff following Grace McCallum's 9.95. That is equaling the top score on that event with Sage Kellerman, and that is such a big number. Only 199 in the competition coming into this semifinals. That's huge.
I'm scared of what Utah's gonna accomplish on this event because they're heating up early.
Wow, nicely done from Avery. You said it, Grace McCallum set up the second half of that lineup for big numbers. Quickly over to bars, this is Caitlin Rosen. Taylor?
John, as you guys mentioned, Mika Webster-Longan was supposed to be in this 3rd spot in this bar lineup. She did suffer a knee injury on that vault earlier. She was evaluated by the medical staff, ultimately taken to the locker room and is undergoing x-rays right now. Obviously, like you guys said, unable to return to competition.
Man, what a bummer for an athlete that's been such a big part of this Bruin team this season, in her first season as a Bruin.
But huge moment for Caitlin Rosen to get the stick on that dismount. Coaches describe her as the heart of the team.
Emma Meisenheimer, the 3rd Spartan, following that 9.8625 from Duplessis.
Front aerial arms continue to move, making sure she gets that connection into a split jump.
Something that head coach Mike Rowe said that I thought was really smart is he encourages his athletes to sing a song on beam. He feels it will help replace the doubt and any negative thoughts that go in their mind.
That's how I start every day, actually, Ali. Just sing a song. Makes me feel good.
I mean, I should do that too. It's clearly working for Michigan State.
Kaylin Chio, right hand of your screen for LSU. She's been doing good today, but not really the Caitlin Chio standards. Still waiting to break that first 9.9 of her NCAA championship.
Caitlin Chio starting off. Most gymnasts grab their legs to help them rotate faster. Caitlin doesn't even have to touch her legs.
Emma finishing round off 1.5. They're getting another stick, and Michigan State is starting to heat up on beam.
And Michigan State's mantra is, it's time. And that's exactly what they're doing right now on beam. It's hard to teach that, to be able to handle that type of pressure. That 2.5 punch front is extremely difficult to time that right. You've got to be just 10 degrees past vertical to hit that perfectly, just like she did. That was exceptional.
Well, she didn't compete floor at regional finals. It's the only meet all year she didn't do all around in. She's acknowledged that she's been a bit tired, so they're hoping that break helping her show up, and that looked pretty strong to me.
Avery Neff, a 9.85. Here's Ashley Glenn for Utah.
She's the 2025 Big 12 vault co-champion.
She left the door open right there. The judges could take one.
Yeah.
They could take 2.5. It's how they decide whether she controlled that landing. There is Mike Hunger, by the way, the main vault coach for Utah. Emma Malabuyo follows Caitlin Rosen's 9.875. UCLA looking for their first 9.9 here on bars.
Emma doing a good job using the tap, the swing under the bar, and keeping her hips open throughout the routine.
Short on that dismount, just didn't quite get her upper body to the vertical position in order to stick the landing.
Meisenheimer 9.85. Here's Delaney Harkness.
And John, keep in mind, Delaney was not in this bar lineup, beam lineup, majority of the season. An injury to Gianna Khalifi threw her into the beam lineup just in time for Big Ten Championships, Regionals weekend, and now the NCAA Championship. Head coach Mike Rowe describes Delaney as a gamer, said if you need anyone to be a rinse and repeat athlete in the face of an injury, it's Delaney Harkness.
Yeah, and he also said that she's so talented and she's always risen to the occasion. 5th year, first time qualifying to the NCAA championships with her team.
And Delaney on beam doing a difficult switch leap, gets 4/10 bonus for that. That first switch leap, really, the judges could take off. That back leg wasn't quite at that 180 degrees.
Amari Drayton on floor exercise. Jay Clark says she might be one of the most overshadowed or underappreciated gymnasts on the team. Tremendous on this event, and they need to be tremendous. No 9.9s yet for LSU. They're running out of opportunities, and vault, their final event, so hard to get 9.9s. They gotta get 3 more right here if they want to give themselves a chance.
Amari, so dynamic and powerful, and really good at controlling those landings. Oftentimes, it's tough to control them with such a powerful athlete, but she is not new to the podium, as she was elite as well. Sometimes those athletes have an easier time adjusting to the extra bounce of the floor.
And Sam, Amari Drayton trained with Simone Biles, and so I imagine she learned a lot of really good tricks and tips from Simone on floor.
Got to pull out all the tricks, Allie. Right now, if you are the LSU Tigers, Ashley Glenn, 9.8375. McKenna Smith. 2 more to go here for the Utes.
She's ranked 4th on vault. Really quick to open up from the pike shape. I have seen her stick that vault so many times. I think, guys, the podium must be bouncier over there on vault.
It has been so hard to find a stuck vault landing. Incredible. Frida Esparza now following Malabuyo's 9.8125.
And we've seen a lot of pack saltos today, but we haven't seen one with a full twist. That's the type of skill that you'll see in an Olympic bar final. That's how difficult that is.
They needed that. They have yet to break a 9.9 in this rotation. Could that be the first one?
Yeah, full twisting pack salto. This is called a bahardwaj. Really beautiful to watch. Not too many athletes do that in NCAA gymnastics.
Named after Olympic silver medalist Mohini Bahardwaj. UCLA Bruin.
UCLA Bruin, 2004 Olympian, a big silver medalist.
Nikki Smith following Delaney Harkness's 9.8. So is Michigan State in peril of dropping out of the top 2 now?
Oh, you see she landed with 2 straight knees. You want to finish in a lunge, which means your first knee needs to bend in order to absorb the beam. This is such an exciting beam routine. She has so much difficulty in this routine, though.
Aaliyah Finnegan, right hand of your screen, had trouble on balance beam in the last rotation. Can she regroup here? Because she's following Amari Drayton's 9.9, the first for LSU in Florida.
Aaliyah doing an Arabian double front, the first one we've seen in the competition. Into that jump, gets 1/10 bonus for that connection right there.
All these teams still within 0.2 of a point from first to fourth.
Quickly, left-hand side of your screen, round of double back, huge difficulty. She sticks it again. Coaches say she actually sticks it about 65% of the time. I can't tell you how tough that is to stick that difficult dismount.
65% of the time.
That has to upper average.
It works every time.
And this tumbling pass right here for Aaliyah, struggled on this in the season. She took out a step so she can stay on the floor. Last couple of meets have had no issues.
Yeah, after she did that one correct, it's like a light bulb went off, and she hasn't messed it up once since they made the change.
In that tumbling pass, 2.5 punch front, the same one we saw from Kaylin Chio.
Last meet, she got a 9.975, so she's capable of some big scores on this event.
Maybe the second 9.9 of the rotation for LSU. Zoe Johnson to anchor this vault rotation for Utah.
Allie, you saw her stick it or do a really controlled landing in the warm-up, and she is just so good at spotting the ground before the last half twist. That's what makes it so consistent.
And Zoe stuck that Yurchenko 1.5 at the regional final, got a 9.95 on that vault.
Jordan Childs now, she's gotten a 10 on this event. She's following Frida Esparza's 9.925. It feels like she is set up for a huge number here, guys.
I love this connection that Jordan Childs does. She is so consistent in the way that she commands the bar. Watch this handstand right on the top of the bar right there.
Sticks this, it could be big.
Wow, that was incredible. You see it on her face. That double layout dismount is actually the most difficult skill for Jordan Childs. She's had to relearn the technical aspect of it. It's been a journey for her, so to see it show up in that critical moment, that's a big moment for her.
The top score on bars from session 1 of the semifinal, and this one is a 9.9375. I think we're going to have a new leader on that event, and it's going to be Jordan Childs. Gabrielle Stephen to anchor this beam rotation. Nikki Smith just a 9.8125, so nothing over a 9.8625 for Michigan State.
And Gabrielle Stevens, that very difficult front aerial 2 feet, I actually saw her fall on that in the warm-up, so I wonder if that was a little bit in her head, because we saw her shoulder dip, had a bit of a wobble there.
She's such a gritty athlete, so I know she wants to make this beam routine.
Kaylee Bryant, right hand of your screen, trying to get LSU into the top 2.
I can't stress enough for Michigan State right now how hard it is to compete right now. You hear Haley Bryant going in the background. The music's loud. There's so much going on. Very impressive round-off double twist dismount. Lands with her feet together too. Beautifully well done.
Aaliyah Finnegan, a 9.9375 in the 5 spot. Haley Bryant certainly capable of more than that. If she can land clean, she will put LSU in a good spot heading into that final rotation. Jordan Childs, a 9.975. We got a new leader on bars, and that was big for UCLA.
Yeah, they really needed that score, and Haley Bryant, it looks like she's gonna put up another big score for LSU, because this is looking just like we expect. Really solid from their grad student, superstar Haley Bryant.
Haley Bryant is the first gymnast in LSU history to achieve both a gym slam, perfect 10 on every single event, and the only gymnast in history to do it in a single season.
Huge front handspring double flip. She gets so high in the air and perfectly places it down.
Man, we'll shake it all out here when we get that score in, but we're gonna jump over to the uneven bars with Maddie Williams from Cal.
And Maddie Williams is an athlete. Her form, the toe point, is just breathtaking. Oh, supposed to do a double layout. Not sure what happened there. Tucked her legs. That was a mistake. That will be a deduction.
Now over to the balance beam, Isabella Magnelli from Kentucky. She has been synonymous with this event throughout her career. Currently ranked at the end of the regular season 6th on this event.
She could do that triple series in her sleep. That's how solid she is on it. And she just works beam really light. Coaches call her the beam queen of the team because it is just so natural for her to make those slight adjustments in the air. But I want you to watch her eyes during her skills. She is spotting the ends of the beam in order to keep her balance and to adjust when she finishes. It's really tough as an individual to have an opportunity to win an event title, and Isabella is one that has a really good shot to win balance beam.
And especially, Sam, out of all the events, to come here and to try to win a title and nail beam like that, you can't teach that.
Jade Carey, the only gymnast who's on pace to catch Jordan Bowers, who is currently the leader. She was in the first semifinal from Oklahoma. Jade Carey on one of her best events, the Olympic champion on this event, trying to get her first all-around title.
It looked like she was gonna stick that double-double, and then her back leg, I don't know if it slipped, but might get a half a tenth deduction on that. But that double-double is the type of skill that you see at the Olympic Games. Most difficult first tumbling pass in the entire competition.
Jade actually credits her last Olympics being so successful in a large part to her experience in NCAA gymnastics, competing every single weekend, being forced to perform this routine and really get out of her shell has helped her not only in NCAA, but also at the Olympics.
Curious if Jade Carey gets nervous, because it certainly does not look like it.
We're noticing the foot when she lands. I think it got stuck when she tried to put her foot back. Looked like the sting mat. You don't get a deduction for having the sting mat, but sometimes I think it can cause more problems than it can help.
I agree with you, Sam. Even some of those 4-inch mats that they use to land off events, and I know it's a wear and tear on the body thing, but every once in a while, I think that softness of that mat causes problems. Another great rotation. All these teams jockeying back and forth, and one of the teams moving up into the top 2 is LSU, and Taylor is with head coach Jay Clark.
Thank you very much, John. Well, Coach, you just said your team started a little tight, but after that floor rotation, you cracked the top 2. What'd you see there?
Well, they're fighting. They're fighting for their lives, and I'm proud of the fight at this point. That's really all I can say. We missed some opportunities on the first couple of events, but they're coming back, and they're fighting for their lives.
This one is as close as we anticipated, but you got to close it on vault. Notoriously a good event for your crew. What do they need to do there?
They just need to be themselves. We trained well yesterday. We looked good in warm-ups today. I just want them to be settled down. I think that was the issue early. They got a little tight, and sometimes that happens. We're all human, and sometimes those things happen. But I am proud of how they're fighting.
All right, one more. Let's see how it goes. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Taylor.
John.
Yeah, they absolutely are fighting, and this competition could not be any closer Here is your individual event scores. Look at that, Jade Carey. She is right in there for that all-around title with that 9.9125. Magnelli, nice beam score as well. Heading into that fourth and final rotation. My goodness, all of these teams within less than 0.2 of a point. Which two are going to go to the final? Saturday afternoon on ABC and the ESPN app with expanded coverage on ESPN+. We'll have the NCAA Gymnastics Team Finals at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Coverage begins with the pre-show at 3:30 Eastern Time. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Headlines from semifinal number 1, Oklahoma. They advanced. They were the top seed in that session, and they made it without drama. The drama, though, was the Missouri Tigers going head-to-head with the Florida Gators, and it's the Missouri Tigers. They qualified for their first ever NCAA team final. Florida is eliminated. So unfortunately for Gator Nation, but this last rotation, you guys, holy cow, every team moving in and out of those top 2, and it is going to be exciting right down to the wire with some great highlights. LSU on floor. Jordan Childs on that bar routine, outstanding.
Jordan Childs on that bar routine was epic. The way that she controlled her handstand and she stuck her dismount, so well done. I know that she's been working so hard on this routine. You can really tell how much experience she has. Look at the body position, hips open, and just drills that landing. You could see it on her face. Highlight for me is the emotion, hard work that goes into that. Well done.
And LSU really put together a complete rotation. Amari Drayton, I agree with head coach Jay Clark. She is underrated. Then you have Aaliyah Finnegan, who is just so consistent and solid and fun to watch. And then when you have an anchor like Haley Bryant, how does it get much better than that? Any team would be lucky to have an anchor like Haley Bryant. They just got one more, and they're in the clear to qualify to the NCAA final.
Yeah, LSU gave themselves life with that floor rotation. They go to an event, they're number 1 in the country vault. You'd think that's an advantage, but it's kind of a low-scoring event. We'll see what they can do there, but look at where these teams are ranked. Utah, UCLA, 4th on their events respectively. Michigan State on floor, the 13th ranked team there. They've got a little bit of work to do. It's going to be an exciting final rotation. Taylor Davis, you're in the belly of beast. I'm worried about your health down there. It is so rowdy. What's it like?
I'm in the middle of the chaos, John, but I would say the intensity matches the moment. LSU heads to vault, UCLA to beam. The athletes are locked in. One rotation left for a spot in the finals.
They replay in your memory, reappear before your mind's eye. The small steps on the long road. For now is the time to climb that final step.
Welcome back to the 4th and final rotation. It has been hopscotch all the way through this one. UCLA at the top at the beginning. They dropped on that second rotation. It was Michigan State, but now Michigan State's in 4th. UCLA back at the top, and the defending champ, they move into the top 2, but they got to go to vault. It's a low-scoring event, even though they're the number 1 team in the country. This one is absolutely going to come down to that final landing. KJ Johnson, she will lead off for the number 1 team in the country, LSU, on vault. She's notorious for sticking this. Feels like she's got to stick this one to get them off on the right track, you guys.
Well, she has stuck this vault in this position so many times. Head coach Jay Clark right there says her presence in this lineup matters. And leading off with a stick does make a difference to the rest of the lineup. Doing a Yurchenko layout full. She gets so much airtime. Hop on that landing. I actually say that's uncharacteristic for KJ Johnson.
It is, and we saw Shea Campbell get a 9.9 for a perfect Yurchenko full. You got to think that's going to be lower. I don't want to say it's ominous for LSU, but they're going to have to stick some vault landings, almost certainly. McKenna Smith on bars for Utah. This is a really good event for them. And they don't get quite the notoriety for this event, I don't feel like, but I watched them in the regional round, and they can really swing some bars.
John, I completely agree with you. I think what makes Utah stand out on this event is their uniqueness, the originality in which their routines are crafted. You're not going to see the same skills over and over again.
So UCLA now over on the balance beam. Again, very good beam team, but this is balance beam. We've seen some outstanding beam workers have wobbles. Wobbles and steps are going to be the end of your journey if you do that here if you're UCLA.
Little wobble on that connection. Curious to see if the judges will give it to her. Front aerial into that split jump.
Emily Lee actually struggled with this at the regional final. No issues today. Sometimes, Sam, I'm curious if you agree, sometimes when you have that first wobble on your first skill, it kind of, you recenter yourself and it makes you do beam a little bit more aggressively.
UCLA is hoping that's the case for Emily Lee, but she did have a little wobble later in the postseason, and they were able to come back from that, so not detrimental by any means. But as we saw in the scores, it is close. So everyone is trying to do their best, especially in this moment now. I think sticks matter the most. We saw one from UCLA, we've seen one from Utah.
Delaney Harkness on floor exercise for Michigan State. They are in fourth, 0.15 behind LSU for that second spot. Keep in mind, these teams from first to fourth still less than 2/10 separating them. Any two could be in the final.
And 2/10 could be a step on a landing. And did a little short on that double tuck. Would have loved to have seen her take that step back with her chest up instead of step forward.
Lexi Zeiss, left hand of your screen. Yurchenko 1.5 coming. You gotta think they gotta stick at least 2 or 3 of these vaults they have left to go.
Yeah, the earlier they get the job done in their lineup, the less pressure is on the back half of the lineup. Well executed in the air, but that one step forward we've seen.
2/10, Sam. They're gonna take 2 on that step. I'd be shocked if that's above a 9.8, honestly, and that's just been par for the course throughout these championships, and that is what makes vault so tough, the way it's been judged. But look out for Utah. I said they could swing some bars, and they showed it with that 9.9125 to start. Here's Ashley Glenn.
And Ashley's toe point, that Stalder release move right there, requires so much hamstring back flexibility.
Good handstand. Last meet, she got a 9.9. So talk about athletes that can put up some big scores. Judges do seem to be extra picky with that step forward, because not only is it the deduction for the step forward, but she'll also get a slight deduction for her chest being in front of her instead of vertical.
Caitlin Rosen, the sophomore. She is the second gymnast to go here for UCLA and beam. Emily Lee, a 9.675. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and tell you that if they count that score, UCLA will be watching the final. The pressure is on these last 5.
And Caitlin Rosen has put in a lot of the mental work when she was rebuilding her confidence early in the season. They reconstructed her routine so that she would feel more confident. Put in a noti, that's a back handspring with a half. I think that's one of the most difficult skills you can do on beam. She had no problems with it today.
Sam, I agree. They took out the back handspring layout, and added in a noti, which is so risky. So right here, she normally would have added an extra layout. Very impressive.
Michaela Tucker from Michigan State on the right hand of your screen.
Whatever Caitlin Rosen's journey was on when she took her hiatus from the lineup is working, because this is looking so confident up there. Her presence is just exuding the message that I'm gonna make this beam routine. Finishing round off, 1.5. Wow.
Somehow gripped with her heels.
Well, a little.
Not to take another step back.
Yeah, no kidding. She took a little scoot there, Alan. You said it. To hold on and not take another step was big for Caitlin Rosen.
Oh, and Michaela looks like on her front handspring, you want to finish almost in a, on a releve with your leg straight. Looked like she bent her legs a little bit, but did a good job landing upright.
Yeah, she follows Delaney Harkness's 9.7875, so another score in the 9.7s. LSU, #1 team in the country. They need to take advantage of this. Lexi Zeiss, though, only a 9.8. Aaliyah Finnegan, we've seen her stick this vault as well. If she wants to move on, might take a stick right here.
Take the 1.5. I thought that could have been it. It was good positioning in the air, but had too much momentum. Their vault coach, Garrett Griffith, has been doing such a phenomenal job with this group. He's good at being relaxed, and so he's hoping that that energy is going to help them not be too stressed for those landings.
I do think that will score higher than Lexi Zeiss's 9.8. It was a bigger vault, smaller step. We'll see Avery Neff now. She can swing some bars, and you got to check out the dismount to this routine.
Certainly can, and Avery fell on that Ginger release move on the high bar at the regional final. Did a great job. I like how, despite falling, she still didn't hold back. She caught it with a lot of distance, and that dismount, one of the most, if not most difficult dismount in the entire competition. Double layout with a full twist.
She is on fire. Watch how much she had to stretch for that Ginger. Exactly what you said, Allie. She wasn't playing it safe, and it's gonna pay off in her score.
Jordan Childs now takes to the balance beam. A 9.95 would tie her for a lead in the all-around. Obviously, some other gymnasts yet to go, namely Jade Carey, but big moment, not just for UCLA, but for Jordan Childs, following Caitlin Rose's 9.8875.
That handspring layout, really gentle to that finish position. I saw her before warm-up, and she looked like she was having fun. She looked loose, slight wobble there.
Gabby Ortiz for Michigan State, right hand of your screen, follows Tucker's 9.875. They're trying to drop that 9.7875 from Harkness.
But athletes like Jordan have so many skills from the elite world. It takes them a little bit of time to know which skills they're going to compete most comfortably and most confidently.
It looked to me that Gabby Ortiz went out of bounds on that first tumbling pass.
She actually did. I looked over and we saw the flag go up. That is a 1/10 of a point. That's big.
Jordan Childs learned a new beam dismount, round off double full, almost with a stuck landing. That's gonna be close. I'm not sure it's gonna get quite to that 9.95 range.
No, she had a couple balance checks. I'm not sure what the judges are going to do with those, and that kind of shuffle slide scooch. I think you named that a scooch earlier this season.
Happy feet.
On the landing. Avery Neff, a 9.925 for Utah. Look out. They may coast into the finals if they can keep this up. Aaliyah Finnegan does go slightly higher than Zeiss with a 9.85. Here's Amari Drayton. She can fly as well.
Look how high she gets off the table. Oh. We all made the same face because she was perfectly placed to squeeze for a stuck landing. Just had that little scooch in one step.
Emily Morgan now follows the 9.925. Utah was in third after the third rotation, but less than a 1/10 out of first, if you can believe that.
And watch this, another full twisting pack salto. So cool that we get to see two of those in this competition. A unique dismount, excellent.
That was the best I've seen her do it. She is looking so strong as a senior.
Jimmy Pratt, we saw him there, give the high five, doing a great job with that bar team as we jump over to balance beam, and this is Shea Campbell.
John, a full circle moment for Shea. She grew up just outside of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and she told me at the end of last year she wasn't positive she was going to come back for this 5th year, but with the disappointing end in regionals, she felt there was more in the tank. Well, here they are on stage at the NCAA championship. She said it's incredibly special to her to now be ending her career in the place where it all started. She's got a large contingency of family, even some club team members in the stands cheering her on tonight as she closes out, whether it's tonight or Saturday, a very storied career at UCLA.
Yeah, well, she's really been the glue to this UCLA team from a culture standpoint, and then you add on her high scoring potential and productivity since she's been at UCLA, and she is just a gem top to bottom.
Crunch time for Michigan State and Gabby Stephen on the right hand of your screen.
And this first tumbling pass for Gabrielle Stevens, so unique, the front through to the front handspring.
And a stuck landing from Shea Campbell. If UCLA wants a chance to compete in the NCAA final, she had to do that as perfectly as she could, and she did. We'll see what the judges do with the score.
And Shea Campbell did that back handspring layout 2 feet so well. She just did not move, and that's a risky skill because she didn't pike down at all.
Yeah, veteran savvy from Shea Campbell. Jordan Childs only a 9.825, will not get that all-around title. Kaylin Chio, only 2 vaulters left for LSU, running out of opportunities. Can they squeeze a couple of 9.9s from their last 2 athletes?
You wouldn't normally want to rely on a freshman, but I'd choose Kaylin any day.
Wow.
There you go.
Superstar.
Not many stick a 1.5 as good as Kaylin Chio across the country.
Well, she's the first freshman to score a perfect 10 this season. She's so clean. Her body shape is impeccable. She opens her arms at the right time. Man, LSU needed that.
They are making it interesting, are the defending champs.
Watch the elbow position. She just waits a beat, catapults her body into the air. What's unique about Kaylin's vault is she does the full and then another half and then tries to spot the landing. Really impressive.
And if you want to try blocking like Kaylin Chio at home, just put your hands above your head and do a shoulder shrug, and then add a lot more momentum to that. That's basically what she did in order to complete that vault.
The Tigers are happy. She's smiling. It's a 9.975 for Kaylin Chio, the #1 vault in this competition. Probably going to be a title for her unless Haley Bryant can take it away. Sienna Olipio from Midwest Gymnastics, same gym as Suni Lee, Olympic all-around champion. Ella Zerbis for Utah, right hand of your screen. They're rolling on bars.
And Ella, that Jaeger is so fun to watch. She has so much time to rotate, handstand on the top of the bar. Exactly what the judges want to see.
I'll tell you what, guys, the way this feels right now is it feels like Utah's going to be in. They were less than a 10th out of the first spot, and they are absolutely rolling. The question is, which one of these other 3 teams is going to take that 2nd spot? Who wants it?
Well, Sienna hasn't had a wobble on this beam routine, and she's following a 9.9 plus from Shea Campbell. She's got to get the stick on this dismount.
Oh, they needed that.
Yeah. Wow, I am on the edge of my seat. UCLA wants a 10.
Ella Zerbis for Utah, a 9.8125 will get them into the final on Saturday. And it feels like that is a foregone conclusion. Nikki Smith follows that Stevens score of 9.8625. You can see the scores over there. They're already counting a 9.7. Feels like Michigan State might be on the outside looking in, and unless they can pull a miracle here at the end. Haley Bryant on vault. Arguably the biggest vaulter in the country. Landings have been her issue. Can she stick the most important vault of her life?
It wasn't a stick, but it was a Haley Bryant vault, and we know that it is so well executed in the air, and we also know that it tends to score well.
Nikki Smith sticking that first tumbling pass, full twisting double back. It's even harder to stick. With the adrenaline, the bounce of the floor on this podium makes it extra impressive.
Ella Zerbis, 9.9375. Utah is in. Alipio for UCLA, 9.95 with Emma Malabuyo, the last gymnast to go, trying to punch their ticket.
Emma Malabuyo competed for the Philippines in this last Olympic Games. She's a senior for this UCLA team and really known as a beamer. She lands so light on the beam and has this presence about her. You can just see it in her face, how calm she is, breathing through this routine.
Sam, I think what stands out about Emma's beam is her rhythm. She does not stop, she keeps moving.
Difficult leap series because she loses sight of the beam.
And Grace McCallum on bars. She got a 10 both days of the regionals. She is exceptional at this event.
Malabuyo needs a 9.7875. All she's got to do is land on her feet, and UCLA is going to be in.
That's going to do it.
Not only did she land on her feet, but she stuck it, and so did Grace McCallum.
That is going to be a massive score for Emma Malabuyo. I didn't see any deduction, didn't see her move. The rhythm is exactly what the judges are looking for. That's going to be one of the biggest scores of the day on beam, in my opinion.
Yeah, that could be the national beam title right there. She's competing with Helen Hu, which we know is an incredible beam worker, but Emma could not have done that routine any better.
Wow, what a memorable beam routine for Emma Malabuyo.
Needs 5 10s from 6 of the judges to get that beam title. Carey needs a 9.9375 to tie Jordan Bowers from Oklahoma for the all-around title.
Yurchenko 1.5. Hop on the landing.
That hop is going to be the difference. That's not going to go 9.9 plus. I would be shocked. But what a job for Jade Carey. What a collegiate career she has had. Skylar Schulte finishing things off for Michigan State. Halfway through, they were in that top spot and just couldn't quite hold on to it.
Skylar Schulte on this victory lap. No one is more deserving to be with her team at the NCAA championships than Skylar Schulte, part of that team 51. And they wanted to come out of the gate strong. Head coach Mike Rowe said they've taken this year to a whole nother level.
UCLA left hand of your screen, watching and waiting for the official announcement, but it's going to happen for them.
Talk about individual titles. Skylar Schulte definitely is in consideration for a title on this event right here. Those are some strong tumbling passes.
And Michigan State, what a phenomenal evening they've had. So impressed with them this season.
I ran into Utah's athletic director, Mark Harland. He used to be at UCLA when I was there. And the last thing he said to me was, wouldn't it be cool if UCLA and Utah made it to the final?
Well, we're waiting for the official announcement, but it certainly feels like a foregone conclusion. LSU, on the other hand, I think they see the writing on the wall as well.
This was a tough competition. Came down to just the smallest details.
Those stuck landings, and I think the mental game and momentum that these coaches have been talking about, it's so important to carry that through start to finish.
Maya Lazan, UCLA cheering for Maya Lazan from Cal as she finished that beam routine.
Yeah, heartbreaking to see LSU so emotional.
And there's the score from Emma Malabuyo, 9.975, and UCLA sees it as well. Shea Campbell emotional. They are going to be in the finals. How about Janelle McDonald in her 3rd season at UCLA? There was tumult with that program for a few years, but they have righted the ship, and they will have a shot to win a national championship.
And how about Utah? They are certainly in contention for the title. They've gotten 3rd place 4 years in a row. They're hungry for a national championship.
And Sam and John, look at Utah's bar rotation, counting all scores above a 9-9.
Miley O'Keefe right there, former all-around champion for Utah. How do you bounce back when you lose somebody like that? Well, you add somebody like Avery Neff, who's the center of your screen right there, and the Utah Utes. One of the most storied programs in NCAA history, have never missed an NCAA championship, but it has been 30 years since they've won a title, and man, are they hungry for it.
Well, head coach Carly Dockendorf of Utah said that this senior class has really led by example, but she said this past month, I've actually challenged the senior class to step up and guide the team to where they want to finish. Guys, they want to be in the final, and they made it.
And Sam, they've been talking about winning a national championship. Coach Dockendorf said in years past, Utah didn't want to talk about it. This year's different. They're saying they're not afraid to talk about it, and they certainly weren't afraid to tell us on the coach's call either.
Yeah, LSU, the defending champ, unfortunately 0.2125 behind UCLA for that 2nd spot. And you know they're going to be talking about all the what ifs for LSU. They had some mistakes. They were not perfect throughout, had some steps on landings. And you know it's going to be a tough one for them to live with as they head into the offseason. They will not get that chance to repeat.
But these athletes, especially the seniors for LSU, they have left a legacy on this program for years to come. You're looking at Sierra Ballard, who has just been an incredible athlete for the culture of this program, and they have set that program to new heights, winning the championship last year. And freshman Lexi Zeiss, you see her emotional. She wanted to help get the job done for this senior class, but we're gonna see her for years to come, and I'm guessing she's gonna be doing many more amazing things for this LSU team.
And we're saying goodbye also to Haley Bryant, one of the best ever, in my opinion, to put on a pair of grips and a leotard. And here is your national championship bracket. Oklahoma, the highest seed to advance. Missouri will be joined by Utah and UCLA. 3:30 Eastern time. It all starts on ABC. Well, Taylor Davis is with the coach of the UCLA Bruins, a very jubilant Janelle McDonald.
Jubilant indeed, and we're still in a little bit of disbelief, Coach. I mean, what a meet that was. We have talked about the resilience of this team. They came into this year on a mission. How was that embodied tonight?
You know, this meet was so close. It was like every little single tenth mattered, and they fought for it. They knew they've been in these positions throughout the season, and they knew that they had the ability to just lock in and get it done. I'm so proud of this team. From day one, they showed up and worked hard for this moment. We got one more meet. The job's not done, but I am so proud of them today.
It came down to the final rotation. All 4 teams were separated by less than 2/10, and your team had to close it on beam. What they showcase?
You know, beam has been actually a really good event for us this year, and so they just leaned into their confidence that they've built throughout the season, and they just went up there and attacked it like they know how to. And so it's a really great event for us to end on, and they just crushed it. So proud of them. So excited.
Like you said, the job's not done. What will it take on Saturday?
Yeah, I think we need to clean up a few landings. We got to really come in feeling great, attacking everything, leave it all out on the floor, because that's what it's going to take to win. 4 great teams in the final, and I'm so excited we're a part of it.
One more to go. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. No Bruins.
Oh, my goodness. Jordan Childs, the Chief Energy Officer, I'm being told by Liv Karras, our good friend. Here is your individual event champions, Kaylin Chio. She does get that vault. Jordan Childs, a couple of Bruins on there. Jordan Childs and Brooklyn Moores. Helen Hu, sentimental favorite to win that beam title, you guys. She gets it done. And how about Jordan Bowers winning that all-around title from the first session? She has really been in a zone. So Utah and UCLA advance to Saturday's final. They will join Oklahoma and Missouri. Join us Saturday afternoon over on ABC and the ESPN app for all the action. Coverage starts with our NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championship preview at 3:30 Eastern Time. But first, don't forget to go to the ESPN Plus to watch our trophy ceremony. And coming up next in SportsCenter, Allie will join us for a finals preview. And Jordan Childs will talk to David Lloyd and Kevin Connors about this amazing journey. For Taylor Davis, Sam Peschick, Allie Raisman, I'm John Roethlisberger. So long from Fort Worth.